Fitbit's bread and butter is fitness tracking. And with the weak showing from Google's Wear OS, Fitbit's Ionic to the Fitbit Versa line has one of the strongest showings in the smartwatch world. I'm Mark Jr., and this is the Fitbit Versa 2 long-term review. Folks, there's a lot of ground to cover with the Fitbit Versa 2. Starting with the unboxing, which was exactly what I expected. Clean, straightforward, it's a good package. But to start, the Fitbit Versa is not a bare-bones fitness tracker. No, it has a big, colorful OLED screen with a solid color range, with smartwatch features that are a bit more thorough than lower-end Fitbit devices. It never had the convenience or smart features that something like an Apple Watch has. It doesn't have as easy as a setup, as third-party apps need configuration to show up for notifications through the Fitbit app. It also never looked as pretty as a device because of the bezel around the screen itself, which I admittedly forgot about because the OLED makes the transitions with a mostly black screen go to the bezel very seamlessly with most lighting conditions. Now, this isn't a bad smartwatch. With my experience with Samsung's Tizen OS to Moto 360 and Google's Wear OS, the functionality of Fitbit as a smartwatch is one of the best, if not the best, on Android's side. Despite not being as flashy as something from Fossil or Garmin or Samsung's most recent smartwatches, the functionality of the Fitbit is absolutely superb. But calling the Fitbit Versa a smartwatch kind of does it a disservice. Every single smartwatch I mentioned before had a battery life at best to 1 to 2, maybe 3 days if you use their low power settings. This, out of the box with fitness tracking, GPS, all sorts, has a battery life of a week. No kidding. I've gone many weeks, many days, many weekends without ever putting it on the charger, going out there with camping trips and not even worrying about this device. Its sensors for heart rate on the back are bar none top-notch for a smartwatch or fitness tracker. Water resistance is unique, but its small speaker on the right gave me so much confidence to go out to swim with it with no issues whatsoever. Something about its utilitarian design has led me to trust it. After months of being in water, soap, transmission oil, and more, it's not had a single issue with taking up the abuse of any liquids that come in contact with it. Customization is plentiful too. I stayed with the default watch face just because it showed everything I wanted well, but there's plenty to like here. All of that, however, is within the Fitbit app. It's comparable with other devices like the Fitbit Area Air I did a review last month. Check it out here if you want to see more of that. But it has tracking calories for food, charts to keep you in check, and also water intake, with a premium version offered for more tips and tricks, which isn't necessary, but it is there if you fall in love with the Fitbit community. What I never fell in love though was the design. Now, it's very Apple-esque for sure, but nothing about this smartwatch made me feel special using it. I never used really the button on the side unless I wanted to access Alexa and stick strictly to touch controls on the watch itself instead of shortcuts through the button. And while you can use it to talk to Alexa or whatever service you're using, it doesn't actually play back on the speaker a voice response or even music, only on the device connected to it. But on the bright side, since Fitbit is so popular, there is no shortage of band designs. You can get something like a 10-pack of different colors for like $12 on Amazon, with more traditional leather and cloth-like textures available as well, all using a pin-based architecture to put it in and out, which is more traditional for a watch, but it does take a few times to get used to. And once you do, it doesn't take more than a minute to change bands to whatever color variation you want. Alright, so let's dig into the apps. And again, there's a lot. There's Alexa to answer your queries, Spotify to listen to what you want, automatic workout detection, which is actually spotty unless you're running for some reason, a calculator, and plenty of third-party apps on the store. Most importantly though, the number one thing people get fitness trackers for nowadays is REM sleep tracking, which tracks your sleep And although it can be fooled here and there, it is fairly accurate and gives you a description on how well your sleep is. And while some smartwatches have this feature now, and Apple's introducing it as well, pretty much none of them have the battery to back it up without having to take it off in the morning and charging, that's dumb. That sucks. You're not going to do that. With really the worst thing being multitasking. I alluded to it before, but when you're tracking an app and you're trying to switch a song, for example, doing it on your watch is actually quite difficult, as you have to scroll down and go into music directly to access your app, which is a bit nonsensical to me because Fitbit allows you to pair up your Bluetooth devices like your earbuds to the watch directly and listen off of there, so you don't have to bring your smartphone along with you. So having it hard to access while you're working out without your smartphone is a bit odd and uncomfortable, especially if your earbuds that you're using don't have good intuitive touch controls. Recommendation for this is very simple. If you have an iPhone, I'd heavily consider an Apple Watch over this, with this mainly being better for its battery life and therefore sleep tracking and sorts like that. For Android users or those on a tighter budget, for $200 or $150 on sale, and links below in the description because you never know when these might go on sale, I say for functionality, this is top tier. Now, Android's Wear OS or Samsung's Tizen experience, while have much prettier hardware usually, its fitness apps are a lot more sparse and clunky. So it's a great fitness companion. And if you were to get any Fitbit tracker device, I recommend spending the extra dough on upgrading to the Fitbit Versa 2. Thank you for watching. See you next time.